Give all praise, Yahweh Shemil, Shabbat Shemir Kakadash, and honors men in truth on down, like-minded ones, to teach in truth and knowledge, so we know this truth and knowledge. And the Wadi Yahweh Shemil shall put in the spirit of men in truth on down, like-minded ones, teaching truth and knowledge, so we know this truth and knowledge. And call Yahweh Shemil, Shabbat Shemir Kakadash. All praise, Yahweh Shemil, Shabbat Shemir Kakadash. More news. You had a hurricane Burrow, Category 4, moving across the Caribbean. Continuously moving through the tropics to possibly in the Gulf area. More on that probably during the week. They'll talk about that. So hurricane, definitely the Caribbean areas will be affected relating to that. Barbados, different areas in that path of that hurricane. For example, here. Talking about Biden's performance related to the election. You know what I mean? Some say he should step down relating to that. You know, I guess the lesser two of the evils, man. So there's a meeting between President Obama, former President Obama, and some other individual with Biden talking about, certain things regarding that, either continuing, et cetera, and they would have to put somebody in there anyway. They don't want no Kamala Harris in there, vice president. And under the 25th, I believe, amendment, if the president can no longer, if the president incapacitated or is not able to do their job, then I believe the vice president can step in. Let me see something, make sure. In simple terms here, the 25th Amendment, Section 1, in case of removal of the president from office or death or resignation, the vice president shall become president. Unlikely that's not going to happen, but in short words, basically in another form of that, president not able to do their job too as well, I'll be added to that. Then the vice president will step in. So that's under the 25th Amendment, Section 1. Let me see. You having, let me see, this is just news. Let's continue on. Biden's at Camp David. You have New polls show the decline in voter confidence relating to Biden because the low numbers, especially after the debate. That's what that's saying. Israel tank seen in Gaza borders. War drags on. U.S. and Europe pretty much are warning relating to Hezbollah not to broaden the attacks relating to Israel. Those are warning relating to. I seen that on the video. So you have the Hezbollah, you have U.S., you have Israel, because U.S. don't want to, and Europe don't want a broader scale relating to Hezbollah and relating to Israel, Syria, Lebanon, and all that. Man faces charges in Boston pub fire. We going about various news. We're talking about that. Let me see. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling won't impact Missoula's homeless ordinance, man. Let me see what we got here. You have, I seen a report, a Detroit report. A drug dealer deleted a 5-year-old child, afraid that 5-year-old child was going to snitch on him. I seen that on one of somebody's reports. A drug dealer, a 5-year-old child being threatened to a drug dealer. Scripture talks about iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So the love of many is waxing cold, man. You know what I mean? Cold-blooded, in the matter of speaking, man. You know what I mean? That's beyond words you can't even describe, man. You know what I mean? But we in evil times, man. You know what I mean? The Supreme Court dealt the American people a blowing by deleting the Chevron doctrine, diplomacy for CEO. You have floods going on in India, major flooding. Some flash floods here in Reduso. Let's see where this is at. Just want to see what area this is at. This is New Mexico. So you have flooding in India. You have major flooding in India. And you got this Pride March parade over the streets. This is Manhattan for celebration of that. You have they talk about who would Trump choose for like vice president, for VP pick. Then you have the relating to the July 4th, the head of July 4th. You have already delays relating to that travel, delays relating to air travel and different things that's going on because this time of year, this is a heavy time for traveling. July 4th specifically. Let me see what else you have. Report here talking about U.S. waits for the Supreme Court ruling on Trump's immunity relating to January 6th. And relating to abortion, they're going to relating to leave it to the states to decide individually, individual states regarding certain matters relating to that. I've seen a report on that. What else? Russians suffering huge soldier fatalities on the battlefield. Collateral damage, mass casualties, man. Over 1,000 and plus relating. That was a report a couple days ago relating to that. You have the Israel-Hezbollah tensions I was telling you about. U.S. and Europe warning for Hezbollah not to further escalate or strikes relating to Israel, man. Then you have, what else you have? Related to this report, wider war in the West, Asia inevitable. It's going to happen. If it happens, it happens. And Putin warned relating to South Korea about aiding Ukraine relating to aiding Ukraine as far as supply weapons so they can, go against Russia. And also, I believe I saw a report that Kim Jong-un, he's supposed to be sending troops to Ukraine to help with Russia. So you have these nations tying up, making their sides as far as alliance, man, with their allies in alliance. That's what I was talking about here. Scripture talks about you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for the end is not by and by. For nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, there shall be pestilent earthquakes in different places. For we in the times of sorrows, times of sorrows. So rumors of wars, hearing of wars, hearing of wars, hearing the rumors of wars, seeing wars, and actually wars happening, man. Great nations against nations, kingdom against kingdoms. So, and you see the pestilence, you see earthquakes, destruction, death, deletions all over the world, man. Here in this country, respectfully, and other respected countries, man. And you have, we in the times of sorrow. Sorrow goes to lamenting, mourning, perils, which goes to dangers, evil, even evils. Scripture talks about Jeremiah 28:8 talks about relating to evil, war, pestilence, and evils, man. Relating to the prophets, man. They spoke about great kingdoms and great nations of war, pestilence, and evils, man. So of war, of evils, and pestilence, man. Which goes to plagues, man. It's Jeremiah 28:8. See what else we have. You have an incident in Pakistan, 7 deleted, bus collided with trailer. France snapped elections. Who else you have? U.S. and Europe warned Hezbollah to ease on strikes on Israel, man. To back off, in a matter of speaking. Tone it down. You had wildfires, devastating wildfires in Greece, and also had major flooding, torrential flooding in India, right here. Scripture talks about Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, which is an army, with thunder, with the thunders, rainstorms, with earthquakes. You're seeing earthquakes. Great noise comes from the thunder, also the lightning, and also the tempest, the winds. This is part of that noise as well. With the storm and tempest, hurricanes, tornadoes, different elements of natural disasters that's happening. And a flame of devouring fire, which is wildfires, man. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord have a mighty and strong one. So a mighty and strong one, pretty much the things that the Lord uses, the elements and different things he uses for judgment. The Lord is known by the judgment he executes relating to the diversity. The things he uses relating to the diversity. He's very diversified relating to executing judgment. Which the tempest of hail, which is storms, winds, hurricanes, tornadoes, and destroying storms, man. That's part of that. Hurricanes and tornadoes, for example. As a flood of mighty waters with flooding, torrential flooding with those hurricanes, with those tornadoes, hurricanes specifically, sometimes with the water, the wind. So that's part of that destroying storm. As a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down the earth with his hand. So the Lord is using these elements to cast down on the earth, man. To allow it to touch the earth, to visit the earth, man. Let me see. You have 7 deleted, 18 injured. The bus accident in Pakistan, I was saying, Karachi, capital city. The Houthis claim to develop a domestic hypersonic missile, claiming by the Houthis. And you have, let me see, you had an avalanche near in India erupted, or avalanche, not erupted, but India, area of India, Kadamath, Shrine area, India, Ranava, pretty much in Bangladesh of India. Avalanche, they were showing a picture of that. And you have in, let me see, we have various news. This various news. This various news. You have a new Iranian prime minister after the one who was in May, who was deleted in the helicopter incident. And so they had elections relating to Iran. And you have, what else you have? You have just various news. You're still hearing reports relating to financially, economically with the money. You have mudslides here. You know what I mean? These are more, some of these disasters, man. Mudslides, deleted 7, included 5. Kyrgyzstan, the latest. So mudslides. You have flooding. You have also sinkholes. Places breaking off in sinkholes. Areas breaking off. This is an area that a major sinkhole was. I believe in the stadium area, a sinkhole was right in the center of it. You know what I mean? Russian is doing their naval games from end of June to I believe July area. So they continuation with the war games, the war games, the Russian naval war games in NATO Lake, right here. You have flood waters inundated, which is flooding. It's Swiss town, so it's flooding. The New Caledonia area. Then you have the continuation related to the battle in Gaza. With the battle continue on. So let's see what others. So I know the scripture talks about 2nd Ezra 18:50. Get it real quick. This is the GNT right here. People of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance, which is the society, people who inhabit it here, will suffer many things in the last days. That goes to calamities, atrocities, the things that the Lord is visiting and bringing on the earth, man. Because of pride, because of arrogance, man. Because of overall wickedness and sin, man. You know what I mean? So the Lord is visiting the earth which he has made, as Scripture says. Go to 2 Ezra 16. Let me get it from the GNT. See what it says. So you're seeing a lot of calamities all over the world, respectfully. Number 18. Troubles will come, and many people will groan. Famines will come, and many will die. Wars will come, and the world powers will tremble, man. So we break it up. The troubles are coming. They're here. That goes to the miseries, the calamities, and different things. People will groan. They groan, they moaning, they're lamenting and moaning, man, in sorrow as well, man. Famines will come. You get the famines, the victuals, the shortage supplies you have, and still insecurity relating to food, insecurity globally, man. And many will die relating to deletions, murders, different things, man. Many people are being deleted, man, for very senseless acts, man. Over senseless acts, man. Wars will come. Hearing of wars, rumors of wars, actual wars happening. And the world powers will tremble. And the world powers will tremble ultimately when the Lord visits on a deeper level, man. Meaning when he accelerates and exacerbates relating to the judgments, man. Because it's on a minuscule scale, man. Right now, it's on a minor scale right now. He's just touching the world lightly, relating to sending different things here and there. You know what I mean? But he hasn't fully, you know, made an impact, a fully impact on that level yet. So when he do, as that part said, the world powers will tremble. That's 2 Ezra 16 to 18. And I'll get it from a KJV. The beginnings of sorrows. You're seeing sorrows, lament in the morning. Beginnings of mourning, beginnings of famine, supplies, victuals, different things. Beginnings of famine, great death, deletions, beginnings of wars. Hearing the wars, these nations, superpowers, rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. These kingdoms siding with these respected ones they're going to side with. That's part of the beginning of wars, you know, siding on the sides they want respectfully, and the power shall stand in fear. And that goes to the world power is trembling. So they're going to be afraid and fearful. In the beginning of evils, that's evils, man, evils. Knowing this in the last days that perilous times shall come. Perilous goes to troubles, evils, and even terrible and disastrous times, man. Behold, the famine and the plagues and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for the memment. These are different elements being sent for judgment. For all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful of the scourges. So that people are not mindful of things that's really happening on the earth, you know, on a spiritual level. Scripture talks about the Lord has sent them a spirit of slumber. They're slumber sleep, and they're blinded, man. You know, their eyes are open, but they still don't see. Their ears are open to hear, but they still don't hear. You know what I mean? So they don't see. They're oblivious. They're in their own little bubble, world of a bubble. They're oblivious to actually what's going on. Let me see. Behold the victuals, which goes to supplies and different things. Scripture talks about 2 Ezra 6 and 22. The sown places appear unsown, and the storehouses appear empty, man. Paraphrasing the 6 and 22 of Esdras, man. So the storehouses, the supplies, the victuals, things that's stored up, supply is becoming scarce, man. It's becoming limited. It's becoming thin. You know what I mean? But the victuals shall be good cheap upon the earth. They think themselves in a good case. So they underestimate because certain things still look normal. Scripture talks about when they say peace and safety and sudden destruction. Part of that peace and safety is things looking or masking or miraging as normal, man. You know what I mean? But actually it's not, man. But the victuals shall be so good upon the earth, they should think themselves to be in a good case. So they're going to underestimate certain things because things are not really happening maybe on a certain level like that. So they're going to not be mindful, as the scripture says, of the times they're in, man. And even shall evils grow upon evils. Go to 2nd Esdras 14, man. You know, talking about that. The sword of famine and great confusion. So they underestimated with this false sense of security, peace and safety and security, not knowing behind that there are evils that's coming right behind that, and growing and coming right behind that. And that's what you're seeing, man. So it's the calm before the storm, man. You know what I mean? Because there's a storm behind the calmness of the mirage, the appearance of peace and safety, man. For many of them that dwell upon the earth perish of famine, and the others escape the hunger and shall the sword destroy, either the hunger or famine or actual sword. And dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall no man comfort, because the state of condition, what's going to be happening. It's not going to be time for lamenting or mourning. You know what I mean? Because of the condition. The things that's going to be, this relates to horrible things that's going to happen in the latter times, man. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, pretty much on earth. Things on the ground. That's how it's going to be. These bodies going to be on ground, like particles and debris on the ground, forms of debris on the ground. And there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down, desolate. Isaiah 24, go to 10 through 12, man. Related to the city of confusion and chaos and confusion, even in ruin. It relates to the state and condition of the city, man. All right. So this was just a few examples of that. So we in the beginnings of sorrows. The latter stages, beginnings of sorrows. That being said, this is just a few reports to give all praise. Yahbashim Yashab Bashim Kakadash. I hope it's informative, related to information in some way. Desire will shower.